Hello everyone, Carnasa here, and welcome back to Space Engineers, and welcome to the cockpit of the newly finished Unicorn mobile base. I have completely finished this since doing the live stream, and I think I'm fairly happy with where it is at the moment. I might go for a slightly different colour scheme. It is a dark grey and yellow at the moment. However, I don't want to paint everything in exactly the same colours. But now this is finished, what I do want to do is I do want to take this for a test drive and see if we can go and harvest a load of ice. So despite this vehicle being a bit of a behemoth, it really isn't all that difficult to control. What I want to do is I do want to get a bit of distance between me and Ice Base Echoes so I can start mining a load of ice. I don't want to mine right next to the base because I don't really want to leave scars all over the landscape. That doesn't look very safe. There's a lot of rocks here. Oh, that's an actual rock. That might have some cool ore in it. I'm going to go check that out, actually. Oops. Rip tree. So before I go and grab that rock, I'm just going to show you around the Unicorn. So in here, we have our living area. We've got some batteries. We've got some programmable blocks so that I can run scripts. I don't know what I'm going to be running yet, but I thought they might be useful to have. We've got a bathroom for a crew of 2, and we've got 2 beds for the crew that is supposedly going to man this vehicle. Then we've got our cargo containers up here with our hydrogen engines and hydrogen tanks underneath, and that leads us into this factory section in the back. Originally, I did want to use this as a cargo bay for a rover, but I thought to make this a truly mobile base, what might be better is putting in a refinery and assembler so when I mine stuff, I can actually create stuff out of it. If I go up now to the roof, just here we can see we have 4 Gatling turrets, which are going to provide adequate defense, or so I hope. And now, if it will let me jump up onto this vent, there we go. The way I'm going to connect this up to the base is using this. This is a system of pistons, hinges, rotors, and a small connector at the bottom. This should hopefully mean that I can maneuver this funny contraption around, so it's a lot easier to connect to our base over there. Rather than having a static connector, this gives it a bit more flexibility, and obviously we've got the big drilling platforms on the side that are going to mine all of the ice that we could hopefully ever want. But enough with that, let's go and find out what this rock actually contains. Hopefully it is something nice. This looks like magnesium to me. Is it really magnesium? Did I go all the way over? Yep, no. Oh, it's cobalt. Interesting. Yeah, yes. Might need some of that. Nah, we've got loads underneath the base. So whilst I'm driving away to try and find a location to harvest a load of ice, I want to talk about what I want to do in this episode. And I want to start working on my underground base. And in order to do that, I want to set up a static drilling platform. That way, I can just mine a big hole in the ground that is going to start me off. I don't think I want to make a flying miner. Or at least not yet. That might come soon. But for now, I think I want to leave that. I do want some kind of flying vehicle that is going to land on the top of the Unicorn, though. You can see I do have a yellow connector on that yellow section of the Unicorn, and I thought it would be kind of cool to place something on there. Maybe a combat ship, or maybe a utility ship, maybe even a miner. This thing can mine, but it can't mine very far down, so having something, a dedicated flying miner, might be a bit more useful. However, I think now this is probably far away enough from the base. We're 3 kilometers. I think it's probably time to slow this down and extend those drills and get mining some ice. So if I hit 4 and 5, there we go. And just like that, they are going to extend out to the side. It does look like the right one extends a little bit quicker, so I probably need to go into the piston settings and change that. But now that that is done, what I can do is I can activate these hinges. So they are set to 2 and 7. And there we go. Our drills are starting to turn around exactly how I wanted them to. Awesome. Very cool. And then, of course, we do have a couple of pistons on here as well. Sorry about the shaky camera footage. That are going to be able to further propel our pistons into the ground. Our pistons, our drills. But it is time to start drilling. I think anyway, we seem to be getting close to the snow. There we go. We are pulling up ice now, which is very nice. And I imagine I'm going to need to do one right click like that so that this piston section can actually get down. Now that that's done, let's move these down. So I think that should be 3 and 6. I probably should label these better or make them in a kind of order that makes sense, but making sense really isn't my forte. But look, they're going down. Awesome. And we should be getting a whole load of ice. With a little bit of backwards and forwards motion like this, we should hopefully get as much ice as we possibly can. Oh, that didn't sound good. That was a bit of a crunch. I really hope nothing broke then. You know what? I think that's the pistons actually fully extended. So if I slow this down, put it into park, and let's go and have a look at the giant crater that we've left on the side of the world. Yeet. Ow. Ah, and would you look at that? We've dug a massive hole for ice. Awesome. Well, that's quite a lot of ice. That is quite a lot of ice indeed. In fact, we're almost full. I don't think we're going to need to be harvesting any ice for quite a while. This thing has done its job very well. So yeah, let's get back to iSpace Echo. Let's start working on some builds. Oh, we've got silver. Silver, 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 silver. Wait, stop, slow down. Oh, why is this so hard to stop? I want to get that silver. That silver's really important. I can make a med kit. Let's just slowly reverse. Oh, and we've even got a refinery on this, so we can start refining that straight away on the way back. Awesome. Unfortunately, the drills for this don't go far enough down that I'm going to be able to grab that silver. It's a shame. It would be really nice to just grab that with this rover. Cool, this really takes a long time to slow down. There we go. Parking brake on. Let's get out and let's mine some silver. I think I might just go straight underneath the rover. Yeah. Seems like a good idea. Where's the silver? Let me get to all that precious silver. 12 meters away and counting every day. We're gonna get to the silver. We're gonna mine it and have... Oh, that looks like silver. Mine loads of this. I think I'll try and get as much as I possibly can whilst I'm here. And that way I don't have to do many repeat trips. There we go. I think that's all we can carry for now. Cool. Let's go back up to the unicorn with our hoard of silver. I could probably even put a medical bay on the unicorn. Should be really cool. Really cool. Cool, we've got 30 bars. I don't know how long that's going to last, but let's get back in the cockpit and drive. Be on our way again. Everywhere I go, there are just flying trees. So since the last clip, a little bit of a disclaimer. I have not played this game for almost 2 weeks due to me having a few issues with my wisdom teeth. So I have forgotten everything. And I think in order to get back into the swing of things, it's time to start a massive engineering project, which is going to be Operation Excavation. My plan to dig a ginormous hole into the surface of this Earth-like world so I can fit a huge underground base in there, which is going to be where we store all of our spacecraft and a load of other goodies as well. What better way to get back into this game than something like that? So I waited for a little bit of time to pass so that Blizzard wasn't interrupting everything that I said. And what I want to do is I want to lay out a platform where we are going to place our underground base. Well, that was rude. I didn't even get a meteor notification for that. Oh well. But yes, I want to build a platform, and I feel like this is going to be a good location because we have some nickel underneath us and we have some iron. We're not too far away from iSpace Echo, and I can connect it up with the underground tunnel that I already have. So I've brought myself a load of steel plate, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start working on this. So, yes, here we go. And I'm not sure how big I'm going to want this yet. I feel maybe if we go for a 10 by 10 or a radius of 5 for a circle that we will drill, that might be a good size to start with. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. And we'll have some kind of archway going over the top, and then we'll have a system of drills underneath it that are going to plow their way. Oh, there's a planet. Plow their way through the earth and carve us out a ginormous hole, hopefully digging us up a load of nickel and iron at the same time. So I've realized in order for this to have a central point, I did need to make it a diameter of 11 meters. Not even 11 meters, 11 blocks. How much is that? That's 27.5 meters, I believe. Each block is 2.5 meters long, so 2.5 times 11 should be 27.5. I think. I think the maths in my head is correct. I am not very good at quick maths. Okay, so yeah, this should be the overall diameter of this build, and we'll just have a circle going around like this. Cool, so now that I've got a base platform set up, it is time to start working on the actual drilling rig. That may be easier said than done. So we made a start. We've got a wind turbine, which is hopefully going to power the entire contraption that I am going to be building here. I'm not sure if that's going to be anywhere near enough power, and if the worst comes to the worst, we can always connect up the unicorn, which might be necessary. I don't know. We'll have to see once I've got all of the drills in place. But I think the next thing that I do need to work on is having a system of cargo containers so that when we mine all of this ice, iron, and nickel that is underneath us, well, we're not just throwing it out all over the place. We do want to store it because it will come in useful later on. So I'm going to go grab the parts for that. This is going to take a lot of trips, and hopefully we should have 2 large cargo containers all built up momentarily. And there we go, that's the first one done. Still got the second one to do though, which is going to need a lot more materials. I've already done about 10 trips. This is going to take quite a while. And there we go, we've got a couple of massive cargo containers that hopefully should be able to store all of the rock and soil and ice and snow that we drill up from this place. Sweet. I think the next step of the job is to work on the drilling system. Yeah. A drilling system for Operation Excavation that hopefully should drill a nice big circle around here. I think that would be very nice. And with this drill placed there, just like that, that should be the drilling rig all sorted. So, I've gone for just one piston going down. The reason why I wanted to do that is for a bit of stability. I know if I had pistons going up and then down, it could make this rig kind of go a little bit janky, a little bit wobbly, and I didn't really want that. I feel like if I have just the one piston going down, it might be a bit more secure. And what I might do as well to secure it even further is maybe extend this out in this direction as well. So hopefully it does provide it a little bit of stability, which would be really rather nice. So what we've got here, we've got a large piston and then a large grid advanced rotor even, which should hopefully be able to transport stuff into our cargo containers there. Then what I have got underneath is a small piston head, not a small piston head, a small rotor head, and then that way I can convert this into a small grid, which is what I have done for all of these drills. We have 6 drills facing down on each side with 1 in the center, and then 1 on the end, which should hopefully clear a little bit of space out of this way. Or so I'm hoping. Obviously, this isn't going to get very far with 1 piston's worth of extension. I believe it can go down to 10 meters. So what I am going to do to try and get this down as far as possible, and this is going to be a real pain in order to have to do this. It would be better to have a piston going up, but like I said, I want the stability. Well, every time we get to that 10-meter mark, I am going to have to tear all of this down and then create a new piston and then build all of this back up again. Luckily, there aren't any batteries or power cells on this, so we will get all of the components back. It will just be rather time-consuming and annoying to have to do something like that. But I think, yeah, I want the stability. I don't even know if this is going to be stable. I've never done this before, so this will be interesting to see. But yeah, I think I want to extend this out and maybe build up something on the other side just to give it a bit more stability. At least in my head, that should give it a bit of stability. I feel like I've said stability about 30 times now, but yeah, I'm going to do that. And then it'll be time to weld up this monstrous looking contraption all up and then press the on button and see if we can start Operation Excavation. On a bit of a side note, other than having to go and grab a whole load more of iron to actually construct the monstrosity, which is somewhere over there. I'm not sure if we can see it. That is not it. That is the platform for getting on the unicorn. It's in that direction somewhere. But yes, on another side note, one thing that I do want to do with the underground base, I've just realized I need to reverse into this. Oh, that was a dense moment. There's the monstrosity. There we go. Now we can finally see it from afar. I want to construct a hangar door of kinds, which is going to be a horizontal sliding door using a system of rotors and wheels. I have done something like that I want to do in this save in a creative test world, and I did upload a short clip of that to Reddit, which I will put a link in the description of this video too. That way I can make it as large as I possibly want this hangar door, rather than being restricted by the size of these hangar doors that I'm currently coming up to. Oh, so I have just welded up this rotor, and I've realized I've not made it an advanced rotor, which means it doesn't have a conveyor port on it, which means this whole thing is going to have to be torn down. And I'm going to have to replace this with an advanced rotor. That is really, really depressing. I can't believe I've done this. I'm going to have to rebuild this all over again. I mean, I'm going to have to do this several times anyway, but I would rather have had a bit more time before having to do this again. Oh well, let's get on with that. I think what I'll do in order to make this as quick as possible is empty out my inventory of everything. Then that way, when I grind down the parts, it should be easy just to replace them, which will be rather nice. So let's place all of my tut into the unicorn. I think we can get rid of that. That's fine. We can get rid of all of this scrap metal as well. And yeah, we are pretty clean. I seem to have run out of food though, so I'm going to quickly go grab some of that from inside the base. There we go. If I just grab maybe 50 of this synthetic food, doesn't that sound absolutely wonderful? And we can go back and we can grind down what I've already created. Oh well, this shouldn't take too long, hopefully. And then yeah, like I said, we can just build this back up. See, doesn't take any time at all. I just have to, oh, yeah, that's what I didn't want to do. I want to do this in order so that parts don't go flying, because it's usually harder to grind down parts that have been removed from our stable structure. Well, that's all the drill's gone. Now we just, oh, why did that happen? Oh, that's annoying. Hopefully nothing broke. Are you serious? I've obviously not designed this very well. There we go, and just get rid of this rotor, this damned rotor. You were supposed to be advanced, but you are just basic. There we go. That's what we want. A basic rotor doesn't have a conveyor port on it, so when we drilled up all of the ice and iron and stuff that we've got underneath us, well, it wouldn't be going anywhere. So we definitely need one of these. Okay, let's place that on. Remove this. And then if I use Build Vision, which is a fantastic mod that I'm using now, we can add a small head, and then that way we can convert this to a small grid, so we can use the smaller pistons rather than the very, very expensive large pistons. That's a small conveyor port. I've just realized. Do I need some sort of system that is going to be able to connect this? Because I feel like this is a large conveyor port. I'm going to weld this up. Yeah, that's probably also not going to work. I'm going to... Oh, and it's turning. That's that's annoying. I'm going to have to remove that as well. Oh, this build is really not going well. Operation Excavation is not going as planned. Well, I'm going to do some planning and see if I can find a solution to this problem. So I think the solution is to place a small grid conveyor junction here in this orientation. Then that way we've got a large conveyor port on the top and we have 3 small ones on the side. However, this does mean I'm not going to be able to place a drill directly underneath it. Hopefully the drills on either side should cover the space here, so that this conveyor junction doesn't whack itself into the ground and we do actually clear the space directly underneath the conveyor junction. That would be really nice if that were a possibility. So I am really hoping that does work. Anyway, let's carry on and let's build this up exactly how it was before. And I can't do that because I need to have the small conveyor junctions coming this side because there are large conveyor ports on this side and this side. So I do need a ring of small conveyors around this, like I had originally. And there we go. With that conveyor tube, we now have a grid where we can connect our drills up, which will be really nice. Hopefully with this additional little block of space, we shouldn't run into any problems with this conveyor junction hitting the ground. I really hope these drills have enough clearance for that. I guess we'll see when we turn this contraption on, though. Oh, I'm not looking forward to testing this out. I should have done this in a test world first, but that would have been the smart idea. And usually I am not the smartest when it comes to testing things out. Press 4 for drill, press 6 for tube, press 4 for drill, press 6 for... That's not 6, press 6 for tube, and we're just going to keep extending this until we have 6, I believe, was how much it was originally. And then I need to repeat this every single side so that it is nice and even. I could get away with just having one of these. It would be a lot faster if I had them going in all directions, and I want this to be a speedy process. I don't want to be waiting around, just chilling out, waiting for this to drill a massive hole in the center of the earth. I've got things to do. We've got bases to build. We've got spacecraft to build as well, because I do want to get up to space eventually. I don't know how long that's going to be until I get to that stage in this series. Probably relatively shortly. Oh no. At the last hurdle, I was foiled by running out of supplies. So let's go grab some more. Grab some of this interior plate. Avoid the unicorn as we fly back over to the drilling platform. And let's finish this off. Oh, are you serious? I'm out of steel plate. Oh, no. That was just me being dense and placing the drill incorrectly. There we go. We have reconstructed the platform. Now we just need to weld it and double check that I did make this an advanced... It's an advanced rotor. If I'd have had to take this down again, that would have been... would have been really upsetting. There's the first 4 drills done, and the conveyor system in the middle is all ready to go as well. Now it's just doing all of the drills on the outside. Well, that's the first line of drills all done, and to be honest, that didn't really take an awful lot to get this all built up. That is the benefit of using small grid drills over large grid drills. These take so much less resources to build than the massive drills that I do have on the unicorn. With that line done, it's time to move on to line number 2. And I did pack myself a load of steel plate before I came over. That way I can hopefully use most of it for these drills before having to go back for some more supplies. Uh-oh, that's not a good sign. We interrupt this build session to bring you the cockpit of the unicorn yet again because I need to recharge my suit batteries, and this was the closest place to do that. I do have a clock on here which is telling me it's currently 4:15 a.m. whilst I am recording this. I should probably be asleep. My sleeping pattern is all messed up at the moment from being in pain most of the time. It's really rather annoying. Wisdom teeth suck. They really suck. I'm getting the last one removed on Monday though, so hopefully after that is done, I should no longer be in any pain. And I felt this evening was kind of like a good time to start recording these videos again, just because I'm not in as much pain as I was. However, it still hurts, and that's why I'm awake at this time, because I can't get to sleep, because it hurts when I try and sleep. But, oh well, this is dragging on, and my suit has recharged, so let's get back to building. And there we go, line 2 is successfully being built, has successfully been built, and I also still have a few components on me to hopefully start work on line 3. And there we have line number 3 all finished, and just the last one to do now, which hopefully shouldn't take too long whatsoever. And there we go. That is now the entire drilling rig complete. So I did make a few edits. I added a drill in the middle. Reason being, I tested out the drills just to see how much power they would consume. And the holes they make don't seem particularly large, so I wanted to make sure that we did have enough clearance for this conveyor junction in the middle. But that is all done. Now all I need to do, well, is turn it on. And I think for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into spectator mode, and we're going to go for a bit of a time lapse whilst we watch this drill, hopefully the first 10 meters. Well, I think that's that piston extended as far as it will go. Let me have a quick look. Yes, we are at 10 meters, so I can now turn this off if I hop into this control seat and press 3. And there we go. And we this is a huge hole. I wonder how much equipment, well, materials we have made from digging all of this. And I did kind of want to stop the time lapse there as well because a blizzard started to come along and it made it difficult to actually see what was, oh, come on, what was going on. But I do want to see how much we have gained. So that's that's an awful lot of ice. I wonder, have we completely filled the 4 large cargo containers I have on this? Oh, I can see the meteors just moving above me. No, one still has stuff in it. We've got quite a bit of nickel as well. I probably will need nowhere near that much nickel, but, you know, it's nice to have. It's definitely going to be nice to have. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tear all of this down. I'm going to add a new piston, and we're going to go even further, and I'm going to do that several times until we have made a really, really big hole in the ground. Operation Excavation is go! And it has worked, at least for the first part. So, with the space that I used with the first piston and drills, I was able to add an additional 2 pistons onto this excavation project. And, well, behind me there is an enormous hole. If we carefully just start going over, we can see we have dug quite a considerable way, and we also have filled up 10.5 large cargo containers with ice, stone, and nickel. I have no idea what I'm going to do with 10.5 large cargo containers of ice, stone, and nickel, but at least I now have a space to start my underground base. I am going to, in future episodes, we will place the sliding hangar doors, hopefully that fit flush to the terrain. That'll be really cool. And we will be working on what else is going to go down here. I have a few ideas. I'm not sure how easy they are going to be to implement, but I basically want to store all of my flying ships down here, so they kind of take off like this, fly up out of here, and then off on their merry way. But that will come in future episodes, because that is all the time I have for now. If you've enjoyed this episode, why not give it a like? If you've really enjoyed this episode and want to keep up with the content on my channel, please do consider subscribing. I'd like to give a big thanks to Bible Guy and all of my other Patreons. I have been Carnasa, and I will see you later.